Triller Fight Club Legends 2 here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, on behalf of the entire Triller Fight Club team led by Ryan Cavanaugh, also Bobby Snarnovich as well. We thank you so much for tuning in to the pay-per-view. On the stage right now, we have all four winners who were victorious tonight on the pay-per-view portion. To my left, I have the Haymaker, David Haye, with the victory over Joe Fournier. A round of applause for David Haye. Welcome back to the ring. Also, the man to my immediate left, a victory over the former cruiserweight and heavyweight champion of the world, the International Boxing Hall of Famer. He is now 2-0 as a professional boxer, and he looked fantastic tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Phenom, Vitor Belford. To my right, this young man has dealt with his fair share of adversity, and he has come out with a massive win. This fight was captivating. It gave you ebbs and flows. He couldn't even see, but he dug down deep and got a win. He punches his ticket to being the #1 contender for a world championship at 130 pounds. The entire country of Ireland should be so proud of this young man. John O'Carroll, ladies and gentlemen, with the win over Andy Vincennes. And talk about highlight reel finishes. My goodness, was that lethal by the former UFC middleweight champion of the world. He turned back the clock and reminded me of that when he was knocking out Forrest Griffin and wiping out guys in his reign of dominance in the UFC. Comes out and dispatches of Tito Ortiz. I guess he doesn't even get paid by the round because it didn't last that long. Ladies and gentlemen, the Spider, Anderson Silva. I'm going to start off with David Haye. And David, for you, coming back into the ring after your layoff at 40 years of age, how good did you feel tonight? Obviously, Joe Fournier, what a tough competitor. He gave his all. It's not easy to be able to deal with your power punches, believe me. But what was that like getting back in the ring?
It felt really good. It was nice to be back. As you said, 3 years out of the ring. I haven't hit a bag, had no sparring. So it was nice. I had 4 weeks preparation for this. And I got in there, I felt fresh. I felt sharp, my timing felt good, and I was able to enjoy myself. Normally I go out there trying to knock people out straight away. But I tried to enjoy myself. I wanted to give 8 rounds of good entertainment, and I think people enjoyed it.
So for you, I mean, was there any signs
the opposite to these guys.
For you, did you feel any ring rust? Did it take a couple rounds to get going again? Because the one thing about it is that you got into your rhythm rather quickly, and I didn't see any signs of ring rust.
No, I felt really good. I felt sharp. My timing felt good. I could see the shots coming. I got caught with a few shots here and there, but I hadn't done much sparring for this. Usually I do probably 60, 70, 80 rounds of sparring per fight. This time I hardly did any. I felt sharp. I felt fresh. I've hurt my body over the years in training, really pushing myself. I needed this rest. I needed my body to just rejuvenate, and I feel I'm ready to do some big things.
So Triller Fight Club does things a little bit differently. It's unconventional, it's unique. They breathe fresh air into the sport. But you were interviewed right before you were getting ready to make your ring walk by our very own Ashley Haas. What was that like, being interviewed as you're getting ready to walk to the ring?
Yeah, that's never happened before, but it was nice. Pre-fight, I'm quite relaxed. I'm calm. I know what's going to happen in the ring. So interviewing me before, it was nice. I told her exactly how I felt, and I went out there and did exactly what I said I was going to do.
So coming into this fight with Joe Fournier, I want to know, because after the fight was over, for those that didn't see, you called out Tyson Fury. So what I want to know, because I'm curious, did you have Tyson Fury's name in your mind even before you fought Joe Fournier? It was sort of the thing like, let me see how I feel, let me see how I perform, and then if I'm good and I feel great, then I want him.
It's been in my mind for a long time, since 2013 when we were scheduled to fight. The fight didn't happen, I got an injury. I've always wanted that fight, and I've seen him go from strength to strength. He's got better and better, and his reputation's got up there. He's the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. So many people believe he's #1. And if I'm going to come back into the sport of boxing in a real fight against, you know, someone special, that is the guy I know I can beat. I know his style. I know what he does well. And my attributes don't work for his style. And I think him and his team know that. I think maybe they think I'm a little old, so they probably will take the fight. But I'm looking for the biggest fight out there, and you don't get any bigger than the 6'9", undefeated Tyson Fury.
My final question to you, David, if playing devil's advocate here, what if he says he has a matchup against Deontay Wilder in October? What if he says you need one more fight? Do you have a name that you would go ahead and go after to be able to then get to Tyson Fury?
I'd only come back for Tyson Fury.
Okay.
In my mind, I don't want to show him what I've got. You know, I was able to win this fight without showing the haymaker. I don't want him to know what I've got left. I want to surprise him on the night.
David, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and go over to my right. We're going to go ahead and save Vitor and Anderson. We're going to go in the order of the pay-per-view fights, just so that you're aware. I'm not bouncing around all crazy. But John O'Carroll, the fact that you told us in the fighter meetings you have a goal book in 2022, you're going to become a world champion. Well, lo and behold, tonight against Andy Vincent's, your victory, you are now guaranteed a world title shot. With everything you've been through, the fact that you lost a child, you have a beautiful family, but now the significance, a couple hours later, what does this win mean to you?
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, I had a really rough year this year, but I always say you have to sacrifice, make big sacrifices in boxing and in life. If you don't make those sacrifices, then your dreams become those sacrifices. And I truly believe that, you know, I made those sacrifices. I wrote down all my goals, everything that I want to accomplish, and I read them every morning and every night. So to me, it's not a matter of if, but, or it's only when I'm going to accomplish these goals. And I actually have won a world title in 2021 or 2022. And then I have, or maybe before then, with a little smiley emoji, you know what I mean? So God knows, but God just, or the universe, whatever you want to believe in, just placed this right in front of me, and He made this for the world title eliminator. And I just believe if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So for me, I genuinely, I'm just waiting for the time that I become world champion. And I actually have wrote down as well that when I become world champion, I can move on to the next chapter of my life. And I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'm looking forward to closing this chapter and becoming a nice businessman, doing whatever, and being a nice family man, spending quality time with my family. I don't like leaving my family for all these camps, but sacrifices have to be made. And my queen of a woman at home, she's amazing, you know what I mean? She gave me the strength. She told me the night we lost the baby, we went to bed. The next day, she was like, go over and buy yourself some shorts and trainers, and you need to go for a jog. You need to be 100% for this fight. She was still in hospital. Like, we were in the hospital. I was running up and down the car park like a lunatic. I say, people are like, who is this fella? Why is he up there in the bleeding hospital car park? You know what I mean? I just doing mad things, but at the same, I was doing press-ups in the toilet because I couldn't train with a mask on, because you have to wear a mask in the hospital. It was a mad year. But all those things, when you get a little victory like tonight, it all becomes worth it. You know, I'm that little step closer to my dream, my goals. And I won't be accomplished as a man until I win that world title. So it better come sooner or later, because I'm 29 now and getting on. This body can't take too much more punishment.
You told me in the post-fight interview, for the media members who are obviously covering it and listening to the broadcast, but there was a period in the fight, and this blew my mind, because you were getting tagged in that 9th round with big shots from Andy Vincent's 8th. Sorry, you know, stand corrected. See,
I smashed him in that 9th round, so it's the 8th.
So you smashed him in the 9th round, but in the 8th, you couldn't see. That's why the doctor was asking you, and you told me that you were pretty much blind in the fight, and you were fighting on guts and instinct. How did you even get through that round? Because you couldn't see. How's that even possible?
Yeah, it was a nightmare. I've had way worse cuts than this in the past, but they've actually been longer and kind of the blood dripped down to the side. But this time it was just right on the eye bone, and it kept dripping straight in my eye. And I was just, every time I blinked, I got like a red blur, and I couldn't see anything. And then every time I tried to wipe it, he kept hitting me with a jab, and I was like, oh. So then I started nearly dropping the hand, so I didn't wipe it. I was trying to just stay as far away from it as possible, and then he was catching me, tagging me with silly shots. But it was that little lapse of concentration. And when I walked back to that corner, I was just thinking, this goal book, like, I'm not going home. Or like,
So it was the goal book.
The goal book was in that night.
You being a world champion in 2022.
Yeah, I was literally walking here. I was like, I can't lose this because I'm not even tired. Like, I'm 100% here. I'm not losing this just because I can't see. I was like, I'm just going to close the distance and go to war. And I said it to my trainer when I sat down. He said, like, come on, we need to be winning these rounds. You had to losing them last 2 rounds. We need to win these rounds. And I said, right, do you want me just to go to war with him? Like, just close that gap so at least if I throw and I'm close, I'm going to land. And he said, yeah, go to war room. So we just went out there, put the pressure on him, and it was perfect. It worked. You know what I mean? Them last 2 rounds what won me the fight.
How proud are you? Because the one thing we know about fighters from Ireland, you guys come and you bring it every single time. Your country should be proud of you, but how proud are you to represent your country inside this ring on a global stage that was Triller Fight Club?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm very proud, but I'm also my worst critic at the same time. I've been performing a million times better than what I performed in here in the gym. You know what I mean? So when we went back to the dressing room, me and my coach was like, we know that's not us. We know. I had 5 weeks only training for this fight, you know. So, and it wasn't correct. At times I was on knife aids and I was sparring the next day. You know what I mean? So it wasn't correct. So we were burning candle at both ends. And then I was like, right, I went to Mexico then. At least the last 3 weeks we got serious then. But up to that point, it was like I was knife aids every second night. You know what I mean? It was hard work, but it's all worth it. You know, I'm going home with my family being very proud of me, my country watching being proud of me, and my team and sponsors and everyone. I've made them proud. The most important thing, you have to close the show. Champions know how to close the show.
Well,
you know
you
what I
did
mean?
that.
And I had to do that. I had no other option. You know what I mean? And when it comes push or shove, it's either right, you bite down the gum shield and you become a champion. That's how winning is done.
And finally, what do you want to tell the rest of the champions at 130? Because now you have the #1 contender status. Your next fight will be for the world title. What do you want to tell all the champions at 130 pounds?
I'm coming. King Kong Carroll is coming, and I can't wait. Because when I have a 12-week camp, the previous camp went amazing, and I was so sharp, I was so fit. It was incredible. I was in the best shape of my life. And then I went home, and my baby came out of hospital, so then I was, you know, it was a crazy time. So this one wasn't correct. But when I'm 100% and I get a 12-week camp, I'm going to destroy all them champions. I'm coming. And I don't even know the man's name who has the WBA, but I'm taking that belt.
John O'Carroll, ladies and gentlemen, the #1 contender at 130 pounds, Anderson Silva, the former UFC middleweight champion of the world, turning back the clock, wiping out Tito Ortiz. Anderson, it was like I was watching you in 2008, 2009 with how you turned back the clock. How good did that win feel tonight over Tito Ortiz?
Wow, I'm so happy, you know. I think my team working hard, I'm working hard, and I just try to enjoy every single moment I come inside the cage, inside the ring, you know. And I need to say thank you, God, for one more time, for giving me the opportunity to come in here and show you my job.
In such a vicious sport where, you know, you literally risk your life every single time you step inside this ring, how do you maintain your poise, your composure, and you're just so relaxed because you move so fluid and almost effortlessly?
Wow. I think the training is tough, you know, and when I train with my partners, I feel ready for everything inside the ring, you know, and my coach trained me a lot. Coach Doria helped me to continue doing my job, you know, and Coach Nico too, and my partners, Eliezer, little Nico, my son Gabriel helped me a lot, my son Khalil too, and I'm so happy, you know, because when I train in the gym and I feel how much the guy's beating me and knock me and say, whoa, I don't know, I don't go continue to that. I'm too old for that. And when my coach come and talk to me in the bedroom and say, hey, come on, wake up. It's your partners. Prepare you for, stay ready for war. And I'm here.
Also, on the undercard, you had one of your students, a guy who looks up to you. You guys share the same last name, but you guys aren't related. Eliezer Silva got his professional debut. He was successful. He had a unanimous decision victory. Did you watch his fight, and did that give you any extra motivation to come out and really put on a show? Because a guy who you literally brought to this country, a man who dreamed of training with you, has now gotten a professional victory and made his pro debut successfully under your card.
Wow, I'm so happy, you know. And I talk to him. I say, man, let me tell you something. You don't win this fight, I promise. I go put in the ground and go beat you, because you knock me out whole time in the gym. You can fail in a fight, you know. But yeah, Eliezer is a good guy. Is a very good kid. Is my little brother, and I custom say, I say the whole time for my friends, I don't have friends in a gym. I have a family, and Eliezer part of my family.
Did you feel like Tito couldn't handle your power? I mean, obviously the fight ended quickly, but initially in the first exchange or two, did you think like he couldn't handle your power?
Wow, Tito is a great fighter, you know, and I prepare my body and my mind for war. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and I'm win this time, and I'm so happy.
So what's next for the Spider? Who do you want?
I don't know. I go home and stay with my family and continue learn more Wing Chun and training boxing.
So Vitor wants Jake Paul, so I'm going to go ahead and, I want to go ahead and bring up a name that Vitor was supposed to fight against, because I know that you want Jake Paul next. But what about potentially, if Vitor, if you don't fight Jake Paul or whatever the case may be, what about Anderson Silva and Oscar De La Hoya? Does that fight interest you?
Wow, I think the fight interesting is Vitor, because Vitor is in the front of me, you know, and I think De La Hoya needs to fight with Vitor, and Jack Paul and your brother have a chance for fight with me and Vitor, you know, it's a good fight.
What do you want to tell the fight fans out there who continue to support you throughout the years? And obviously now you look fantastic in boxing. Social media is raving about your performance tonight in the boxing ring, claiming that you might have the best transition, or one of the best transitions, from MMA to boxing.
Wow, I training boxing for my entire life. I remember the first time I'm in Brazil, I go to try out the soccer in Corinthians team, and I come late, and I watching the guys running in the field, and I say, what is happening there? And I walk in, and the guys start training boxing, and with Vitor Ribeiro. He's a great coach, he's a great man, he's passed away, and asked me, you training boxing? I say, no, I come to try out the soccer play. And say, okay, but what happened? I'm late. Okay. I hear your gloves and your shoes, come training. And I start training boxing. And I'm very lucky, because when Minotauro take care of me and introduced me to Coach Doria and the whole team in Bahia, the champion. And I'm never stopped training boxing, you know, and I love. And, you know, it's funny and incredible for me, because I love boxing, you know, and
well, you're damn good at it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and I just watching the Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., you know, and I say, whoa, one day maybe I go fight the same level these guys. And I'm here today, you know, and I continue working hard for prove my respect for boxing community.
Well, Anderson, congratulations on the victory. An impressive performance, a knockout win over Tito Ortiz. Now in the main event tonight, my goodness, I'm glad I don't have to stand across the ring from him, because he's a dangerous human being. The Phenom, Vitor Belford. Vitor, congratulations on the win. How did how would you classify this entire experience fighting here on 9/11 in front of the 45th President of the United States doing commentary, Donald J. Trump, a packed house, electricity in this building, a worldwide pay-per-view audience watching on Triller Fight Club pay-per-view? What was this like for you tonight as you defeated Evander Holyfield in the first round?
Legendary. That's what it is. It's a legendary moment. And like I said, we're going through a very tough season now. The world, a lot of people are losing their loving ones. And I know everyone becomes so political. Everyone becomes so divided. And 9/11 is a time that so many people were affected in this country. I remember 20 years ago when we saw the first plane. It's like it was the end of the world. And to see today, we are so divided and people are fighting over things. People don't have patience anymore. So I think it was such a great environment today here. Great fights, great competition. And I think, we all have to learn from boxing. What boxing have to teach you, sometimes you have to duck, you have to escape, you have to move, you have to use your jab, you have to go for the knockout. But at the end of the day, it's a sport. So I think we all should be more caring for each other and uniting this country, the great country that is America. That's why we're here. We're immigrant. Now I'm an American. So I'm very proud to be able to have that opportunity and having the Mr. President and his son coming here, entertaining us all, dividing his time with all of us in a great moment, fighting in the car with great fighters. I'm very blessed now.
How would you classify the experience of sharing the ring? Because all of you know, when you share the ring with an opponent, there is a bond that you share. There is something that you both exchange with one another. What was the experience like sharing the ring with the Hall of Famer, the former cruiserweight and heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Holyfield?
You never judge by how many victories you have. You're judged by the guys you fought, the fights that you fought. When you say, I went to Vietnam War, you gotta respect that warrior. So it doesn't matter which side he was. So a warrior respect another warrior. Doesn't matter. It's like martial arts teaches something different than boxing. Boxing is a sport, an art as well, but martial art teaches you only are judged by the people you're competing against. Sometimes we have a beautiful record, but you didn't compete with the greatest. So for me to be able to compete with Holyfield and watching him I remember I was the youngest champion fighting two guys at the same night. Holyfield was fighting for $30 million against Mike Tyson, and used to fight, you have to win $50,000 if you beat two guys. No weight division, was no organization back in the day, so it's a privilege. Boxing is being my martial arts, my top martial arts that I love it the most. To be able to transition and be able to come here and fighting one of the greatest heavyweight of all time. So it was a phenomenal opportunity for me.
So after the fight was over, you go and Ryan Kavanaugh gets in the ring, and he said he has a $25 million winner-take-all. 30. Well, no, it was $25 million initially. Then Bobby raised it. I guess you did. You raised it.
He raised five for Jake Paul, and they say Canelo is $40 million.
So hold on, wait a minute. Let me get this correct. So it's $30 million for Jake Paul, and then $40 million for Canelo?
Yes. How they can say no to that?
So winner take all.
Winner take all.
So all are in. Exactly. So that's who you want next. You want either Jake Paul for $30 million, or you want Canelo for $40 million.
Or if Oscar wants to, he wants to do it, he can be there too.
But I know you. So either one of those three names. But if you had a list,
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul number one.
He deserves it.
And why is that?
Because he deserves it. He's choosing his opponent. He's working with a guy he used to work with, Lorenzo, our ex-owner. He's picking his fight. Now he cannot say no to me. He got to say yes. We got to teach him a lesson.
Do you think that with your performance tonight that you've painted him into a corner?
If he say no, all his little fans, they're going to come. I'm going to create a YouTube channel, and they're going to have to follow me.
You said they're going to follow you?
Yeah, they have to come follow me. I'm going to create a YouTube channel, and I have 3 amazing athletes in my house. We're going to entertain all his fans because he doesn't have morals. He doesn't have a family values. I think he doesn't represent the fighters.
Do you think that he disrespects the sport of boxing or that he respects the sport of boxing?
No, he's just, he's just getting the attention. Someone has to give him a whip. That's me.
So you are coming from the mindset that you are the teacher and you want to teach the
father.
student. You're his
I'm gonna
father.
put him on my lap.
Wow. So you say you're going to
He gonna meet Daddy, Big Daddy. He gonna meet Big Daddy.
He's going to call you Big Daddy?
He has to.
That's what you're going to do to him?
You watch. I promise you. Say Big Daddy. That's how he's gonna call me. Yeah, he's gonna make a tattoo. Yeah,
Okay, so he's going to make a tattoo.
Big Daddy.
So now we're even furthering the storyline that you want him, if you beat him, if you guys fight, you want him.
You use the right word.
I said win.
Yeah, you say if.
Okay, well, I'm not the one in the negotiations, so I have to talk hypotheticals. Okay, when you guys fight, you want to go ahead and add that.
He's gonna call me Big Daddy. That's all.
So Jake
And
Paul
he's gonna have to.
next.
He's gonna have to understand that it has levels. In life it has level. First class, second class, third class. That's how tennis works.
So I assume you saw his last fight then against Tyron Woodley. Did you
No,
see
I didn't
anything
see
that
it.
you didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
Okay,
I don't
so
buy this pay-per-view. I'm sorry.
Okay, well I didn't either. I watched the highlights. So nonetheless,
I don't waste my money.
it doesn't matter. So you
I
want him
invest
next.
my money. I watch fighters, real
Okay,
fighters.
if you can't get Jake Paul next, Oscar De La Hoya, we wish him all the best on a speedy recovery. Would that fight interest you? We were supposed to be in
Yeah.
Los Angeles today,
Yeah.
but obviously
He's the
Triller Fight
happiest
Club-
man on the planet now, my friend.
You think Oscar's the happiest man on the planet?
Right today,
Yeah,
he's the happiest man on the planet.
really?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he didn't fight you.
You saw what's happened.
I mean,
what's
I
coming for
did.
him.
I'm just trying to get what your
Yeah,
thoughts were.
it's true.
So you want, if you can't get Jake next, you're okay with fighting
Canelo,
Oscar.
40 million. I want 40 million.
You want Canelo next.
Yeah, 40 million. So it's on the table. How you say no to 40 million? Imagine.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to
Just
4
think
million,
4-0.
much less 40 million.
Oh
Damn.
my God,
You
I'm
know?
down.
But I want to get my ass kicked by you. So, anyways, what do you want to tell the fight fans out there that watch tonight? And obviously, you have this desire to continue your boxing career. But what do you want to tell the fight fans out there that watch tonight?
I want to thank the fight fans, but my dream is to mix, really a little bit of rules where we can grab, So I'm looking for us MMA fighters really fight boxers in a fair way that bring advantage for us as well. Because the clinch, what we do the boxing and MMA is different. So I hopefully can grab the neck, push, grab the fist. I'm not talking about spinning punches because boxers cannot handle that very much. It takes time to do it. But I mean, I would like to kind of make some legendary fights, where you can kind of bring the grabbing part, with the push and make it more free on the clinch. That's something that will intrigue the fans, and the fights will be huge. Big fights can be broken. I think Triller can shift the industry because when you combine both sport at the same night, at the same rules, that's gonna the amount of content and people will see something totally different. But until that happen, I will box boxers.
Well, Vitor, thank you so much. Congratulations. What a win. David Hay, Vitor Belford, Jono Carroll, Anderson Silva. Congratulations to all. And I'm not saying this just because they're up here, but I've worked with these guys throughout the entire promotion, and they're all quality individuals. They're all great representations for combat sports, and we are very lucky that we were able to watch them display their world-class talent here tonight in Hollywood, Florida. On behalf of the entire Triller Fight Club team led by our boss, Ryan Cavanaugh, thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and we will see you on Tuesday as we continue. You have one more?
Ryan Cavanaugh, he's going to be one of the greatest promoters who will be able to put fights that never been done before. And we need to thank Mr. President Trump coming here and supporting us, and that was fantastic.
And most importantly, Vitor, we want to thank the fans, because without your support, these guys, we would not have this opportunity. So thank you all very much. Thank you to the media who works very hard being away from their families. Thank you for your amazing coverage all week long. We thank you so much. We will see you on Tuesdays. We have boxing back here in Hollywood, Florida with Triller Fight Club, and then we go to the Versus battle. And then October 4th, Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos, a Monday night pay-per-view. Who doesn't love that? Thank you very much for watching Triller Fight Club Legends 2. Have a great one. We'll see you later.